So ultimately, we are conducting like BFS over here and over here, and then we soon to actually found out that like the amount of like visit for amongst all places, here 1, here 2, so we return back to the system like the value of 2. So like simply put, when we actually do conduct like a BFS, is that in this guy's perspective, he can actually we can try to actually travel all 4 directions, right? And um, so like operation Z is that we can go all like say 4 directions, and obviously you also have to actually take care of like the edge cases. And so if say that you go like negative, or you go positive, or you go to the 0, um, and obviously this one is saying that you go sort of like beyond this values, you can't do that. You go outbound here, you can't do that. You reach until like a 0, you can't do that. So this very much take care of like the edge cases. But for this guy's perspective, you can conduct operation Z. And in terms of like the BFS like point of view, is this that whatever this guy is like doing, whatever he's doing is actually conducting like a BFS. So operation Y, obviously, within like the 4 directions is obviously where can it go. So it does able to actually go to here and go to here. So fundamentally you have to pop off like a previous. So this guy is out. Operation W is very much to actually record the length that it has traveled so far. So obviously from this guy's perspective, like previously it was like 0, so now it has traveled to 1, and then now you can start moving to your next value, and now it has like really reached to these values. It's gonna ask for the 4 directions again. For this guy perspective, we can go to here, we can go to here, and we can go to here based on this guy. We're gonna pop the previous. We're gonna record the length, and we're gonna like really move to the next value, which is here, which is here, which is here. Look at the 4 directions again. You can come to here, pop like the previous, record the current length. For this guy, this time around it has reached under 3. And there's no way to go already, so eventually this guy gonna get popped off. And maybe like in terms of like the count system, we're just gonna like say that okay, there's no more values that we can go to, so we just apply equals 1 to the count system, maybe. So I think it's gonna like conduct all these operations over here, and that we try gonna find like a way to actually calculate for this area over here and this area over here. I'm not sure like how it's gonna be able to connect over here and here, so that's something that I really am curious on how to actually find out to be able to actually land into this spot over here and then into this spot over here. So I'm very curious about this one. So I mean, the rulebook is already stating something like this. So the rulebook is saying that you can't visit the zeros. You only can visit the ones. So it really starting to actually remind me of like the character of saying to be under the category of graphs. It can either go to be like the DFS or the BFS for the most parts. And so like another rulebook is like saying that okay, I just like technically need to count like the number of like islands. So in this case is that we are not trying to find like how deep we can go into, rather just how big of the island is. Just how many islands are there. And if that's the case, then I think that it will then fall under the category of like BFS, because ultimately I just want to know that how much this area does cover, how much this area does cover, and that's about it, right? So like fundamentally, like whatever the character graph is able to cast, it's very much about like all these different operations you've seen over here. And what it actually does is that it does fundamentally take care of like the edge cases. It does help me to actually find the whole of the island. And that's basically it, that we find the whole area of this, find the whole area of this, and we always like let ourselves know that okay, we're still within the scope, okay, we're now out of the scope, okay, count this as one. We're still within the scope, okay, we're out of the scope, okay, we count this as one. So with 1 plus 1, we eventually get our 2. That's how we actually do it. So the next thing is, obviously you also will actually ask that okay, why not do I actually use the brute force to actually argue against this main character over here? So for this case, I would actually say that like brute force is not gonna be able to actually detect that okay, this guy I'm out of bounds, right? So, but for graphs, it does am able to actually tell okay, you're actually out of bounds. Please don't go there. So that's how I actually argue against like the brute force. And so yep, with that everything comes to an end.